motive. What was the motive for Muslim 28-year-old man Syed Farouk and his 27-year-old wife Tashfeen Malik, who have a new baby, 6-month-old baby? What was their motive? They had pipe bombs. They had pistols. They had long guns. They looked like the people who attacked at Charlie Hebdo in Paris. What was their motive? CNN saying, we're not sure what the motive is. The federal government on the ground, well, we're considering if it was an act of terrorism, but we're not sure. We're still looking into motive, knowing full well that they have never released all of the documentation that they have for the Chattanooga, Tennessee shooter. Think about it. He was studying the Quran and the Hadith. These people, they had motive. And on today's program, I am going to show you what the motive was. But for me to be responsible to you as a viewer, I want to give you just a quick bit of backdrop to show the wickedness, the evil of certain people in positions of power to distract us from the motive of what drove these two Muslim terrorists. Obama was in the middle of an interview with CBS. We're going to show you an itty-bitty clip. He's the president of the United States. He already knew that they were pursuing Muslims, okay? But he got out of front of the discussion. If it had just been, this is about Muslim terrorism in America, then we would all be focused on domestic policy, international policy. But instead, Obama comes out with this.
That they don't happen as frequently. Common sense gun safety laws, stronger background checks, and for those who are concerned about terrorism, we have a no-fly list where people can't get on planes, but those same people who we don't allow to fly could go into a store right now in the United States and buy a firearm.
God forgive us for electing this man. Do you see what he's doing? He is driving the discussion. Now, rather than focusing on Islamic terrorism, we're focusing on gun control. These people bought these guns legally in California, which has some of the toughest gun laws in the nation. So Obama is now, again, being the Muslim apologist, the defender of Islam, but this time he doesn't have to stand up and say, we don't have to discuss Islam, that's not what this is about. He got out ahead of it, knowing that the FBI and the local police were looking at Muslims. He got out ahead of it and said, well, really what we need to discuss is gun control. All right. According to various reports, Farouk, the man, was either born here or in Pakistan. He's from a Pakistani family. His wife was also Pakistani. She was in Saudi Arabia. They did some kind of online dating. He went there, brought her back, and they had a baby, okay? People, again, described him as a devout Muslim, but not somebody who talked about his religion a lot. He started to grow his beard recently, full beard. And one of his fellow workers said what we've heard over and over, quote, he never struck me as a fanatic. He never struck me as suspicious. Motive. Motive. Now, they had tactical gear, okay? This was not a spur of the moment payback for some quibble that happened at the Christmas party. They were planning this for some time. They were just looking for the opportunity. And evidently, they felt that they found it when all these people were in a room. 14 dead that we know of so far. There's other people that are in critical condition. Both terrorists are dead. Originally, there was discussion that there might be a third shooter. Somebody is in custody. We don't know exactly what is happening. The David Bodick from the FBI is embarrassing. He actually, this is being discussed right now at the highest levels of our government, whether or not Obama and his cronies will give him permission to say the truth. That this was inspired by Islamic terror. There are people who are taking issue with our thoughts and prayers are with you. Again, distracting us. Distracting us. Of course, our thoughts and prayers should be with the victims and with their family. The cover of the New York Daily News, God isn't fixing this. Well, I would tend to agree. We need to pray like it all depends upon God, and we need to work and fight like it all depends upon us. Now, if Obama wanted to get ahead of it, he could have said, if all of those people who were in that room were allowed to just carry a firearm with them, most of them would still be alive, because they would have been able to shoot the man and the woman who were shooting them. So the discussion that we should be having right now is whether or not we should allow more Muslims into the country. That's the discussion that we should be having. Okay, she came in legally. Forget the illegal border situation. She came in legally through Saudi Arabia, which is the #1 financier of terrorism in the world. We need to be discussing having targeted surveillance at mosques. That's the discussion that we should be having. But instead, we're discussing gun control and whether or not God answers prayer. God save us. The brother-in-law saying, I have no idea why he would do this. How could you not know? This is a lie. He would have an idea. It's called reading the Quran, reading the Hadith, which we're going to do after I take a break. I am going to show you what motivated this couple in plain English. And we can bury our heads in the sand, or we can accept that somebody who takes these words at face value has all the motive that they need.